Right-wingers have become massive fans of banning books, especially books for your kids, school books. They don't like the teaching of like history and things like that. But did you know they're starting to ban math books too? The Florida Department of Education announced it's rejected dozens of them, in fact, by different publishers, saying they, quote, contained prohibited topics, including critical race theory. And I've always thought that nothing says an ideological, concrete commitment to free speech like having a list of prohibited topics that books can't cover. They rejected 41% of the math books that were presented to them, which is pretty amazing when the topic is math. They put out this news release saying that they had failed to comply with the state's content standards. They said 21% were specifically disallowed because they incorporate prohibited topics or unsolicited strategies, including CRT. There were an additional 11 books that it sounds like they're just being banned for CRT too, but they found a different way to spin it that makes it seem as if like this whole thing wasn't just about their insane extrapolation of what they're worried CRT means. Francesca, what do you think?
My mind is just spinning with what could have possibly triggered the snowflakes in Florida about these math books, right? Like what kind of problems are we doing? Was it, my guess, it was something, I'm sure it was like, if the United States paid reparations to 10% of its population, how much money would each African-American receive in the, like I'm sure it was all about that. We're just calculating future reparations. No, what it was probably like, Jamal has a basket of marbles, and it's like Jamal, or it's like, Fatima wants to go to the store, but she only has $5. Fatima, like it was totally just the inclusivity of like names that could be people of color. Mark my words, that's all it was.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to the very limited examples of this because, hey, what do you know? They're not very forthcoming with what was supposedly CRT. I'm going to challenge you to expand your mind just slightly. So it is one thing to grapple with, well, how did they think that something in a math book qualifies as critical race theory? And then you jump to, wait, 41% were canceled for that? Oh my God, they must have a really expansive idea of what's CRT. I have an alternate hypothesis. I don't think they have to think there's any CRT in these books. Because here's the thing, having press releases saying that you've banned a bunch of math books over CRT is its own goal. You don't have to actually stop the CRT. Your fans want to see you freaking out about it. And they will just accept that there was CRT in it. They're not gonna check. They're not checking the numbers on this. They're very worried and you desperately want to keep them worried. So you have a direct ideological incentive to just pretend there's CRT in them and ban them. Nobody's gonna check you, so there's no risk, and it will keep your base terrified. It'll make them question even more topics. There's no expertise. What's that?
Oh, I mean, meanwhile, kids won't learn math, so like win-win.
Exactly. Look, Ron DeSantis says, this is the press release. Florida rejects publishers' attempts to indoctrinate students. Okay, well, we're gonna see whether they were indoctrinating. Ron DeSantis says, it seems that some publishers attempted to slap a coat of paint on an old house built on the foundation of Common Core and indoctrinating concepts like race essentialism, especially bizarrely for elementary school students. Well, that sounds like an honest guy. I think he's just, he's calling the balls and strikes as he sees them. He doesn't have any sort of direct interest, any sort of medium-term political aspirations towards the presidency. He's just telling it like it is. Anyway, if we could jump to the examples, we're gonna go to these Christina Pushaw, his press secretary. Here are the examples. Angelou, this is Maya Angelou, was sexually abused by her mother's blank at age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivations for writing. So there's equations, and then what is obviously a reading comprehension quiz, just to make sure that you read the section. Is that critical race theory? I don't see how it is. There's nothing about structural racism there. There's nothing about reparations, or there's nothing political there. It is, do you remember a fact that was presented to you about a notable famous American? Francesca, am I missing something? Did I miss the CRTs?
Well, okay, I have a problem with this just this homework assignment generally, because it's combining reading and math, and someone who's real bad at math. I mean, like, maybe I missed out, maybe I needed more of this, but I'm just like, wait a minute, I could have just do the reading comprehension. I don't even have to do the algebra. But so I'm a little bit like, there's mixed messages. I'm like, which one do you want me to learn? So that, put that aside. But that being said, yeah, it's Maya Angelou. It's based on her book, I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing. It's been, it's award-winning, acclaimed, celebrated, and of course now illegal in, I don't know how, 12 states probably.
Exactly.
But yeah, it took me a while to understand how this was offensive, and I still don't get it. I'm just offended by the fact that like they're using algebra to do reading comprehension, and I'm like, pick one.
Look, she sent 2 examples. That's how they rejected dozens of books, is for those 2 examples. No, they don't care. They don't care. And look, if you still believe that this is either seriously needed or that these people are being honest, like, do you not get the movement you're a part of? Like, there's a very real chance that in the next year, you will participate in a political rally about the need for free speech and opposing cancel culture that will be lit by a massive pile of burning books. And if you don't see the hypocrisy, the inconsistency, the lack of logic there, well, then you just might be a Republican voter. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.